In the Telegram group, Stacy's World Rocks, there's a lot of people talking about May the 1st. Everyone's going to stop paying their rent for at least 3 months. And this is what ChatGPT says. In England, including London, new rules coming into force May the 1st under the Renters' Rights Act change when the landlord can start formal eviction proceedings for rent arrears. So after May the 1st, a lot of people now are saying, let's all stop paying rent for at least 3 months. You'll have 3 months in the bag and nothing will happen. They're not allowed to evict you. If your rent is £1,000 a month, you'll have £3,000. If your rent is £2,000 a month, you're going to have £6,000. That will really help with the cost of living crisis. But what are the consequences? In practice, everybody joining this movement because they're unhappy with the government to stop paying their rent. Now, I ask the question, what are the consequences of this? If you think, if everyone could be 3 months behind with their rent, what are the consequences? The landlord, nothing can happen. They cannot evict you. If you stay 3 months behind with your rent, nothing can happen. They cannot evict you. Now, what are the consequences of this? What will happen if a large percentage of renters go 3 months late? Number one, landlords' cash flow problems. Many landlords rely on rent to pay mortgages, cover maintenance, pay letting agents. They still got to pay all those fees. If income stopped for 3 months, some landlords would fall into mortgage arrears. Smaller landlords might sell up. Lenders could step in. This is talking about repossessions. There could be mass repossessions, likes of which has never been seen before in living memory. Mass repossessions. House prices will fall through the floor. There'll be a proper property crash, house price crash with these mass repossessions, where the banks come in and all these poor landlords will be pulling their hair out. Number two, a surge in court cases. Once the 3 month threshold reached, landlords could begin proceedings, or if people stay within the 3 months, you can't have the proceedings started. But they're saying it's 18 months to 2.5 years before your name gets through the bottleneck, the backlog. Courts would become heavily backlogged. Hearings would take much longer. Bailiff appointments could stretch out months. We saw something similar during COVID when eviction bans were lifted. So this is eviction bans again. Government intervention likely. They could introduce temporary eviction bans as happened during COVID. No matter how much someone is behind with the rent, they cannot be evicted. That could happen again. And there's all sorts of things the government might do. And what a rental market shock this would be. Possible knock-on effects. Some landlords try and exit the market. If somebody's behind with their rent for 3 months or 6 months and the landlord tries to sell and they just sell it for a very low price, the clock starts ticking again. That old owner of that property will just write it off. Nothing they can do. The new owner has to start chasing the tenants for the rent again. But of course, that last owner is going to find it very hard to sell that property. Who on earth would they sell it to? And they talk about risks of tenants, risk of CCJs, difficulty renting again. This is going to happen to so many people. Would it break the system? This is what Stacy's World Rocks is talking about. Will it break the system? ChatGPT says not immediately, but it would strain it heavily. The legal system isn't designed for mass simultaneous defaults. If 20 to 30% of renters stop paying, you'd likely see emergency legislation, emergency measures. There'd be all kinds of people just squatting in places. They're just not paying the rent. They're just living there. The bailiffs cannot get around everyone. It takes between 18 months to 2.5 years for to get your name through the bottleneck, the backlog in the courts. And then the landlord has to try and apply to get bailiffs. Nobody wants to do that job. It's the worst job in the world. Everyone hates bailiffs. There's a shortage of bailiffs and they get sewage thrown on them. A lot of people now are starting this movement. If you've got the goon squad calling at your door, go to the toilet in a bucket and throw it on them. This has happened. I don't condone this behaviour, but I'm just saying why a lot of people hate the bailiffs. I want to go to Stacy's World Rocks now. A different subject now. It's an amazing Telegram group. I think she's an amazing woman. I'm not going to say whether I support this, but I'm just going to read what is on her channel. This is her talking now, Stacy's World. She's saying, when it comes to energy meter swap, she says there's no need to change your meters unless it's a smart or a prepaid meter. Then, she says, possibly you could consider swapping them out. I haven't bothered to change mine. There is 0 sense in telling an energy company that you've removed their meters and potentially cause a gas leak or electricity problems. Unless you want a visit from them, a locksmith and the police, dumb people do this. She keeps saying this, dumb people, go and tell them you've changed the meters. Using energy to fight an energy broker who only supplies the property with a billing service and not actual energy also makes zero sense. All you're doing is telling them who you are and where you are. Dumb people do this. Fighting any non-living entity, especially with paper, makes zero sense unless you're bored and in need of entertainment. Again, all you're doing is telling them who you are and where you are. Dumb people do this. The occupier at an address is liable for all charges relating to energy, water and council tax, all these other things. Whoever accepts the title of occupier is therefore liable. So she's saying don't accept the title of occupier. That's your choice. You can rescind, relinquish liability whenever you like, as it's your life and there is no external authority whether you accept it or not. You're under no obligation to accept this as the occupier. For anyone who desperately wants their smart or prepaid meters removed, contact Darren. This is the guy who does London and other places on the above telegram handle. He can also change smart meters too and prepaid meters if you've had them fitted. Note, changing meters won't stop the bills. The bits of paper that come through the door, only getting rid of the letterbox will do that. Please note, contact the engineer directly to book a space. So you're saying don't contact her.